What's up, guys? Welcome to the Pack Shack. Yes, as you've guessed, we're going to be here to talk about the wonderful and amazing Green Bay Packers. I know. It's okay. You don't have to chair. Anyways, I know we're the third week into the NFL season. I had to figure some stuff out to what we were going to call this, and the Pack Shack came to mind, and it stuck. So it's here, we're here, so let's jump right in. We're going to cover the first 3 weeks, and then hopefully from now on we'll do a weekly episode to recap, the previous Packers game, predictions on what's going to happen for the next week, and we'll go from there. So anyways, week 1, Green Bay versus the Minnesota Vikings. We beat the Minnesota Vikings 43-34. Now, this game started off slow. The Vikings, they took the lead pretty early on, and the Packers, of course, come back to pick that up and take home the win. Aaron Rodgers threw an impressive 32 completed passes out of 44 attempts for 364 yards and 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Now, I know Rodgers is not one usually for interceptions. It's happened, usually off the players' hands that he's throwing to, but he's not one for throwing interceptions. Our rushing for that week, Aaron Jones carried the ball 16 times for a 66-yard game and 1 touchdown. Nothing big. It was the first game of the season. Everybody has to get in here due to COVID and everything. They're learning how to play without a crowd screaming in their ears. So we'll give them a little bit of, slack there. Now, one thing I do want to say is Jamal Williams. He carried the ball 7 times for 21 yards. He also had a receiving of 4 receptions for 21 yards. So, congrats to him for matching up his, numbers there. Allen Lazard, our wide receiver, had a carry for 19 yards. A.J. Dillon had 2 for 14. Aaron Rodgers had 1 for 2. And then Tim Boyle had 2 for -2. Not too impressive on Tim Boyle there, but hey, it's there. Our receiving, Davante Adams had a good week with 14 receptions for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns. Marquez Valdes-Scantling had a 4-reception game, 96 yards and 1 touchdown. Allen Lazard, a 4-reception game, 63 yards and a touchdown. And like I said, Jamal Williams is right there, and then everybody now beneath that is 12 yards or under. Our defense, we're getting there. We're doing a lot better than we have in the last few years. Jaire Alexander had an interception on Kirk Cousins. That was great. Darnell Savage Jr., he had 3 tackles and 2 assists. Now, this is the guy that we're watching because I think he's going to be the one that pops up and explodes in games. But so far, has not. Anyways, in our kick returns, Tyler Ervin had 1 for 18 yards. Punt returns, Tyler Ervin had 1 for 0 yards. Fair catch. And Mason Crosby had 2 field goals. 2 completed field goals, actually. Sorry, I had to read that right. I'm looking at box scores here. For a 43 long. So, not too bad there. Going on into the second week, the Green Bay Packers faced the Detroit Lions, in which Green Bay won 42-21. Yes, we doubled their score. I don't hate Matthew Stafford. I actually like him as a quarterback. I think that, Megatron being gone really hurt their team. Adrian Peterson coming on there, though, that's what scared me. Our defense, our main problem with defense is we don't know how to wrap up on a tackle. It's either we go for the legs or we try to, knock the ball out of their hands, and then boom, they're running down the field for, 20 plus yards. It hurts us. Anyways, Aaron Rodgers had a game of 18 completed passes out of 30 attempts for 240 yards and 2 touchdowns, and once again, 0 interceptions. Aaron Jones had an impressive game with 18 carries and 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jamal Williams pulled a 8-carry game with 63 yards and no touchdowns. A.J. Dillon, our rookie running back, had 5 carries for 17, no touchdowns, and Aaron Rodgers had 2 for 12, no touchdowns. Once again, Tim Boyle, 2 for -1 yards, and we'll go from there. Receiving, now, Davante Adams, I believe, was injured in this game. He is currently still out right now. We're hoping maybe after this week he can play. If not, we have a bye in week 5. And at that point, it'll give him a couple weeks to heal up. And then hopefully by week 6, he'll be right back in there to destroy. Anyways, Aaron Jones picked up the receiving game with a 4-reception game with 68 yards and a touchdown. So overall, he had over 200 yards altogether and 3 touchdowns. Robert Tonyan Jr. was the only other one to get a touchdown. And he had 2 receptions for 25 yards. Davante Adams was 3 for 36. Allen Lazard, who's the up-and-coming guy, is 3 for 45 yards. And then Scantling had 3 for 64. Now, I will bring up, Aaron Rodgers had a reception for -6 yards. He threw the ball, it got knocked back, right back into his hands. Now, of course, he got tackled after this for the -6 yard loss, but still got to get up and, laugh about it. I loved it. When he stood up, he had this huge smile on his face because it was like, how many times does that happen that a ball gets deflected right back into the quarterback's hands? Anyways, our defense. Once again, we had 1 interception, and that was Chandon Sullivan. Other than that, once again, they did good. We started off slow. The Lions pulled ahead there for a second, but Green Bay came back, and of course, final score 42-21. Tyler Ervin had 2 kick returns for 34 yards, and then him and Joshua Jackson both had punt returns. Jackson had a 6-yard return, and Ervin had a 0. And then Mason Crosby did not have to kick a field goal. He still had 2 out of 2 with a long of 43. Going on to week 3. Now, I watched this game. This game aggravated me. I was cussing. I was cheering. I was cussing. I was cheering. It went back and forth. It was absolutely crazy. But thankfully, the Packers pulled ahead with the backup quarterback, I believe it was. I want to say it was. Maybe it was the running back. But it was Hill. I know it was Hill, and they have Taysom Hill. That might have been it. Anyways, there was a fumble. The Packers, of course, got the ball back. It was able to put them 3 points ahead. And then they stopped them, got the punt back, and then got a touchdown. So overall, the game ended 37-30. Leaving the Packers at 3-0, the Saints at 1-2. Aaron Rodgers had a 21 completed pass out of 32 attempts for 283 yards and 3 touchdowns. And once again, still no interceptions. Wonderful. He's throwing good. Yeah, we're getting it. Aaron Jones had 16 carries for 69 yards and a touchdown on rushing. Jamal Williams had 6 for 14. Aaron Rodgers had 2 for 12. And then we had Tyler Ervin in here for 5 yards, and then Allen Lazard had 1 for -2. Now, receiving wise, Davante Adams, he's out. He didn't play this week against the Saints, which absolutely terrified me. He's our number 1 receiver overall up until the last of this season. He was our receiver. We didn't have anybody else. We didn't draft anybody else. Now we got Allen Lazard. Allen Lazard proved that he can catch the most unbelievable passes. And let me tell you, he had one where, he extended his whole body. It didn't look like he was going to catch us, but he caught it, wrapped it up, went down, boom, touchdown. Absolutely amazing. He had 6 receptions for 146 yards and a touchdown. Robert Tonyan Jr. had 5 for 50 and a touchdown. Chase Sternberger, he stepped up, caught a couple good passes, 3 for 36, no touchdowns. Mercedes Lewis came in for a 1 reception game, 18 yards for a touchdown. Aaron Jones had 2 for 17. Tyler Ervin came in for 2 for 8, and then it just goes down from there. Our defense had no interceptions. Now, we didn't do bad. We had a bunch of plays, one where Alvin Kamara tore through our line, and just nobody could touch him. The dude, it's a crazy play. If you guys haven't seen any of the highlights of this game, I recommend going and watching them. Alvin Kamara, he had such an amazing touchdown. I think it was 50-something yards, 59 yards, something like that. It was absolutely crazy. Even I was mad because he broke everything. Just went around to everybody, and we could not tackle him. But at the same time, I was like, well, wow, crap. Like, this guy's, he's pretty freaking good. But we have a lot of injuries on our defense. Some of them are out for the year, some are out for a few weeks. But I'm hoping, the ones that we do have, we step up our game. A lot of our rookie players that we have are now playing. So we're playing good. We're still winning games. 37-30 wasn't bad. But we need to step up a little bit. The Saints are a hard team. With Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, Jared Cook, and a couple other players that were on there. But they're a tough team. So it was an absolute good game, but terrifying to watch as a Packers fan. Tyler Ervin had a kick return, 2 kick returns actually, for 30 yards. There was no punt returns. And then Mason Crosby kicked another field goal, one for 52 yards. And that is the third week of that. Now, overall, looking at everything, the team leaders. Rodgers is passing yards, of course, for 887 yards. Aaron Jones has 303 yards rushing. Allen Lazard has 254 yards receiving. Christian Kirksey, these are one of our defensive players, 27 tackles. Chandon Sullivan has an interception. So we're not doing bad. Now, some of the big things that we need to keep up on are our defense needs to stop letting them get to Rodgers so fast. It's just he's only been sacked 2 or 3 times. And we just need to stay on top of it. Our defense is letting them our offensive line is letting them through too much. It's not giving, Rodgers enough time to get downfield. Now, as of right now, Christian Kirksey is doubtful. He is expected to miss some games with a shoulder injury that he picked up against the Saints. Josiah DeGuara, he's a tight end. He's out. I want to see here. I wonder if it will tell me. Oh my gosh. It will not. Okay. Anyways, he's out. Devontae Adams is out as of right now. Kenny Clark is out. Randy Ramsey. That's a name, man. He's out. Rashawn Gary, he's out. Yeah, that was all last 2 weeks. And we have another player that's out for the rest of the season. But we're hurting a little bit. We are, especially our defense. Devontae Adams being out, I thought that was going to hurt our offensive side of the ball. But Allen Lazard, Jay Sternberger, Aaron Jones, all these players, they're stepping up and they're showing that, hey, Adams, you sit on the sideline, you get healthy, and when you come back in, we're going to put a hurting on the rest of the season. But Rodgers is absolutely going crazy. And I think he's mad because we picked up Jordan Love. I understand getting a backup quarterback because Rodgers is 35, 36 years old. He's getting up there, so I don't see him playing for another 10 years. He might. He didn't play the first couple of years because of Favre, but he's showing here that I'm here to play and I'm here to beat teams. So Jordan Love, you're gonna sit there and learn. I think he is. I'm hoping it's not. I'm gonna, whoop some butt this season and then leave the next season because I'll be absolutely heart-turned. I'm actually wearing my Rodgers jersey right now. You guys can't see that because I don't have my camera on. But we're building a good team here, and I think Jordan Love can learn a lot, and I mean a lot, from Aaron Rodgers, and possibly be our next franchise quarterback. So, but that is the last 3 weeks of the Packers NFL season. That is our yards, our receiving, our rushing. What I think now, I believe we are facing the Falcons this next week. Let me see here. We're going to look up our schedule here. I'm pretty sure it's the Falcons. Yeah. We face them on the 5th of October. Another late night game, but it's a Monday night game. Now, the Falcons, That could go either way. They've shown that they can score high points, but they can also choke. So that's our upcoming game. With Julio Jones still being out, that's something that our defense, will get a little break off of. So that we're not hurting too bad on that side. Hopefully, we can stop, the other receivers and everything. I think we'll pull off a win. Honestly, the going through the rest of the season, just looking at that, we don't have a super hard season ahead of us. Not a super one. Could be could be a bad one. We have a couple teams in there that could do some damage, but hopefully we're looking for another 12 to 13 winning game season, and maybe hopefully, and I'm really hoping here, a Super Bowl run, because that would be great, especially since it would be Rodgers looking at his team going, you guys are trying to replace me with Love? I'm here to play. I'm the best. He's the GOAT. Now don't get me wrong. When I say he's the GOAT, I'm not cracking on anybody else's quarterbacks. He's my GOAT. I think he's going to be the greatest of all time. He's not there yet. There's still a lot of players ahead of him. But if he keeps playing like he is right now, I think he'll be sure to beat them. Anyways, guys, until the next video, I hope you enjoyed. If you liked, leave a like. Comment down below. Let me know what you think on the Packers. Let me know what you think on the games. Hell, even if you just want to say, hey, this is my team, this is what I think, let me know. Comment that down below. Subscribe. Ring that bell for more notifications so you know when I post the next week's Pack Shack. And I'll see you guys in the next video.